Hello again, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Ask the Prof. It's been a little while since I've done an actual product review, and so if you're new to the channel, we've had quite a few new subscribers since the last time I've done one of these, and thank you for that. And if you are new, I am linking below one of the first videos that I did that explains my process on how I go about determining whether or not a product is good, if it's backed by science, or if it just plain stinks. Unfortunately, there are a lot of the areas related to triathlon and endurance sports, you can make a lot of claims that you don't really have to have proof for, and a lot of marketing companies are doing that. A lot of the companies that we see out there are marketing companies selling a product, not focused on the product development and then selling it. So let's get to it. Today we're going to talk about a product called Prepped. It is an Australian-based company. Right now in the US market, they're gonna have two products available. One is the Prepped Prime and one is the Prepped Recover. Both are going to only be available in the US in their powdered forms at this point in time. As you can probably guess by the name, the Prepped Prime is supposed to be used before activity and the Recover after activity. It is important to point out that this is not an oral rehydration solution or an energy drink or a carbohydrate drink. This is a resistant starch drink that they claim is going to help prep the gut, hence the name, to bring in more fluids during activity. What is a resistant starch? A resistant starch is not going to be readily absorbed in the small intestine. Most of it is going to pass through to the large intestine. There are numerous health benefits that have been associated in the literature with resistant starch. Better insulin sensitivity, better cholesterol profiles, increased absorption and digestion of many nutrients. One of those is going to be fluids or water. So that is what makes this the physiological rationale behind this pass the sniff test. So the rationale is that taking this product, resistant starch product, will help the fluid that we're taking in during exercise cross the gut wall better. Unfortunately, humans are not camels. It is hard for us to store excess amounts of water. If we start, especially as we lead into a race, we'll add a little salt, we'll start to try to take in a lot more fluid, and what that usually results in is us going to the bathroom 5 or 6 times the night before the race and getting really crappy sleep. All right, so what this is supposed to help us do is not necessarily need to try to bloat ourselves the nights before, but actually make the fluid that we're taking in during exercise more effective. So this sounds, great, but is it too good to be true? So that's what we're gonna try to finish off the discussion with today. So the researchers that developed this actually didn't really have the intention of making this a product for athletic competition. It was really developed in conjunction with the World Health Organization to try to help people in third world countries, especially where cholera and acute diarrhea can actually lead to death, to help make rehydration solutions more effective. And indeed, what has been published, and I'm linking these studies below here, is that this patented blend could actually increase the effectiveness of the standard oral rehydration solution that the World Health Organization was using for those individuals by up to 39%, which is a huge margin of increase. And these aren't small studies that are being done. These are being funded by the World Health Organization and other large research bodies and published in really highly regarded journals. Again, check out the links below if you don't just want to take my word for it. Now that we've covered the physiological rationale and covered a little bit of the information behind the product development, all right, then we can look at, okay, can there be an application to athletics? And is there any research out there that shows this? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any on cycling, running, triathlon specifically, all right, but was able to find one study using this product specifically that was done with Australian rules football players. This study was a single blind. It was done with elite male athletes, and the results were actually pretty significant. Both the findings showed that they were able to have increased body weight or increased body weight retention. So they didn't lose as much as the people that didn't, suggesting they had more fluid, as well as the dilution of their hematocrit. All right, so as you get dehydrated, that would be, you lose fluid, and so those numbers actually would go up. It would look like you have more, but it's just because you're becoming more dehydrated. So they had two measures, both were statistically significant. So again, it's not enough to give pass with flying colors just because I don't have one that says, specific to triathlon, but it is definitely strong enough to color me intrigued and to give the product a try myself, especially as I'm trying to prep for hot races like Kona and St. George, where the World Championships are going to be. Having something that allows me to uptake the fluids that I'm taking in while biking and running in the lava fields is definitely something that I could find extremely beneficial. And so I am testing this product out. I have no affiliation with them. It's just something that I think could possibly work for me in the future, and I'll keep you up to date whether it does or not. So in the US, this is going to be available only in the powder form. In Australia, it does come in a drink bottle mix, but most of my viewers here are in the US, so that's the one I'm going to talk about. It's going to be available in both chocolate and vanilla, from all that I can tell, for both the Prime and the Recover. So the way that you're recommended to use it is to take the Prime or at least 3 to 4 hours, if not a little bit more, before your activity. So even the night before you go to bed, and then obviously the Recover you're going to take as close to you can right after the activity is completed. One thing that I do want to mention is that I do not recommend taking this for the first time the night before a race, right? It is, nothing new on race day. This would fit in with that category, but maybe extend it out a couple extra days. The reason for that being is, as I said, this is a resistant starch. And what that essentially means is it is a prebiotic. And so it goes into the small intestine and it feeds the good bacteria and allows it to kind of fight with some of the bad. And basically, in order to do that, it has to be fermented and change into a small or a short chain fatty acid, and that's what the good bacteria eats. That fermentation process can produce a little bit of gas, and so you might get the first couple times you take the product, you might get a little bit of stomach bloating or problems with gas that might have your partner kicking you out of bed at night. I didn't experience any of that, thankfully, but it is possible, and that it would be completely expected if that does happen, especially for someone eating a typical American diet, because there's so little of this product specifically in that. All right, so if you give it, if you're using it 3 or 4 times, that will go away, and then you'll be able to have the full benefits of that. You'll still get the benefits of it the first couple times, but you don't want to risk having some of that stomach bloating at the start line. So definitely give it a try leading into the race, not just right before the race. That's all I have for you this time. If you have any questions about the product specifically, leave them in the comment section below. I'll definitely keep you in the loop with how I am feeling using the product, if I'm feeling that it's working as we go. Again, to me, the science is there. It doesn't have that, that last little bit that I would love to see with this product. I think that it'll get there. It just, needs somebody to pick it up and actually do the study. But, for me, it's definitely passes the test enough for me to give it a try, use it, and, hopefully it helps moving forward. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for tuning in and making it all the way to the end of the video. Give me a comment on what you thought about it, if you have any questions about the product specifically, or if you have any other products that you want me to cover in future videos. Otherwise, give me a like, hit the subscribe button, help me out a little bit and help other people see this as well. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.